Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cooking from Quarantine. Today we are cooking fried chicken. Nothing is as big a crowd pleaser as fried chicken is. Everybody likes it, kids like it, adults like it. You can make it highbrow, you can make it lowbrow, and it's great. Fried chicken is awesome in the summer with a cold beer. It's awesome anytime with very cold champagne. And if you don't drink, it's good anyway. So there's a zillion ways to make fried chicken, and this is mine. So let's walk through what we have here today. First of all, we have, I'm using chicken cutlets because that's what I had in my freezer. This recipe works just as well, in fact better, if you're using chicken parts, because it will be more flavorful, the bone and the fat and all of that. I happen to have thin sliced boneless, skinless chicken cutlets, and so that's what we're using. But you can use any chicken parts that you like. So we have that. These have been sitting in a bath of about 2 cups of buttermilk and 2 eggs all mixed together. They've been sitting for about an hour or so in that bath mixture. Overnight is better if you can do it. My stuff wasn't defrosted by last night, so I did it for an hour. You don't need to use buttermilk. I'm using light buttermilk. I happen to have it in the house because I was baking. If you want to use regular milk, totally fine. Anything you've got, substitute it out. Some people like to season that mixture. I don't think it makes a difference because we're seasoning everything so much anyway. The key to good fried chicken is crispy and super flavorful. So we have the chicken that's been sitting in a bath of what was 2 eggs and 2 cups of buttermilk. We saved that because we're going to be using that when we dredge our stuff. I have 3 additional eggs to kind of beef up this buttermilk mixture more. I might add a little more buttermilk as we go. I'll look and kind of see how we're doing. The other key ingredient to this is vegetable oil or canola oil. That is what you should be frying food in. They are neutral flavor and have a very high heat threshold, so they don't start smoking till a very, very high temperature, and that is when you're frying food, you want the oil to be 375 before you throw everybody in. If you have a digital thermometer, like a laser pointer one that'll read your pan, great. If you don't, it's fine. But definitely vegetable oil or canola oil is what we'll be using. Soybean oil is probably okay as well, but this is not a job for olive oil, etc. We have a few more eggs. I don't even know if I mentioned that. I have 2 plates, which we're going to be using for our dredging process. And I have put all of our dredge materials together in this bowl. We're using 2 cups of flour, and then we're using assorted teaspoons and tablespoons, and it goes by what you like to eat, of garlic powder, celery salt, thyme, oregano. This is oregano, yeah. Paprika, white pepper, cayenne pepper, and ginger. If I had some dried basil in the house, I'd use it. I happen not to have that. If you like black pepper instead of cayenne, throw it in. If you like red pepper flakes, you could do it. What else would I have put in here if I had it? Garlic salt instead of garlic powder, fine. What else? Oh, and paprika, I actually prefer to use smoked paprika. I didn't have it, so we're using regular paprika. And just and salt. Depending on the ratios of what you like to eat, that's what should be going into your flour mixture. So for me, it's a little heavier on the paprika and garlic. For you, it might be heavier on whatever your favorite flavor is. So what we're going to do is mix up our concoction with a fork. Get it all working together. Make sure it's really thoroughly mixed in so that you don't have any kind of hot spots where nothing got mixed. And then all of a sudden one chicken will taste like why is there just one ginger chicken mixed in here? We don't know. Okay, so now that our mixture is all mixed up, and you just do that with a fork, we're going to start dredging. The key to dredging is you always want to keep one hand clean. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to keep both hands clean, but that never seems to happen. You want to always keep one hand clean while you're dredging things in order to fry, because it just kind of makes your life easier. You can turn on heat, you can fix your hair, you can beat your mug, you can do whatever you need to do. So these have been kind of draining their buttermilk mixture off. I'm going to add, hold on, we have 2 plates here. We're going to put our buttermilk in the middle. I'll show you how this works. We're going to divide our flour mixture in half, putting half of it on one dish and half of it on the other. Okay, just get it all, whoop, lost a little. Get it all kind of flattened. And yeah, we're pretty light on batter here. So let's pop a couple more eggs in. The way you're gonna do your eggs is you crack them on the counter, then put them in so that you don't get any shells. And I think 3 eggs will do it. Crack that right over my fork. That's gonna be a lot of fun to wash, mix with. And this is a kind of like fun, messy, you know, you're supposed to get a little messy. Oh, it's a big shell. Could have gone in. Saved it. This is a fun, messy recipe. If you got kids at home and you have no idea what to do with them anymore because you've been like trying to learn how to teach someone science, this is a great activity to do when everybody's bored. It's messy, it's yucky, you get to measure things, you get to pat things, it's a whole to-do. I mean, it's fun as an adult, so with kids it would be even better. Let's throw a little bit more buttermilk. There we go. Now we're getting enough batter. And so the key to why my chicken tastes so damn good is that I bread things twice. Because, you know what? If you're making fried chicken, like, don't pretend like you're not making fried chicken and get all coy about how much bread this is. Like, just do it. Just really do it. So the way this works is we're going to take our chicken and we're going to run it through these 3 steps of flour, egg, flour again, and then we're going to put it back on this rack just to let them hang out while we get everything ready to fry. So here we go. Take one, again, try to keep one hand clean if you can. Flip it twice in the flour. Give it a little shake. Once through the buttermilk. Ba-bam. And then once more through the flour. Flour's going everywhere. This is not a clean activity, folks, so, you know, don't wear your finest yoga pants ensemble for this dish. Here we go. That's 1 piece coated, which we're putting back on the rack. And my fingers are already like almost unusable, so that's why we keep 1 clean. And we do the next piece of chicken. Twice through the flour, once through the egg wash, shake, 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 through the flour again. And so we're going to continue doing this until every piece of chicken has been dredged, and then we're ready to fry. So I'll see you over at the frying pan. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do at our stove is take out our best, most favorite frying pan. This is an all-clad, but if you have a cast iron pan that you like, feel free to bust that bad boy out and use it. Let's grab our vegetable oil. And we're going to put in enough vegetable oil that the chicken will be mostly submerged. Probably about a ½ inch in the bottom of our pan. Put a medium-high flame under that. So we want it nice and hot. And you'll know that your oil is hot when it starts rippling, but you can also take a little piece of your batter and put it in to test and see if it starts frying up. We're also going to need, this was our rack that we were letting our chicken drain on, even though it's all covered in yuck and crud and whatever, that's totally fine. We're going to put some paper towel over it so that we have someplace to put our chicken as it drains, so that we don't have greasy fried chicken, we have crispy and amazing fried chicken. And use like as much paper towel as your quarantine circumstances allow. I'm very fortunate that I have quite a bit of paper towel left in stock. I mean, honestly, I guess if you wanted to use a clean dish towel, you could. I'm sure that's how they did it back in the day. So if it worked back in the day, it's fine by me. Our oil is starting to ripple a little bit. I do have this nifty, handy dandy gun. Let's see. This says it's 139 Fahrenheit. 144, 45. Okay, I guess it's just not hot enough yet. Because ideally we're looking for like over 350 in order to get these babies frying up well. 150, 160. Okay, we're getting there. And I would like my tongs, which will make life easier for me. These are awesome tongs. They look like a microphone. Because my kitchen's super cool like that. So let's see. We're at 180 now. Do I have it wrong that something's supposed to be 375 in order to fry it? No, I don't. Okay, now we're getting to 211. Because I think 350 is what gives you the Maillard reaction. The Maillard reaction is what happens when you see something start turning golden brown. So, okay, I'm just jumping the gun. 245, we're getting there, we're getting there. My oil is starting to ripple though, so I'm surprised. I probably would have put my my chicken in way too early. So you know what? I'm going to apologize to my husband. I thought that this was like really one of the stupidest things we ever bought. But you know what? Our chicken's gonna fry really great because of this now. So see what quarantine does. Quarantine brings couples together, I guess. As long as you can stand each other. I actually have a second burner for this burner, like it's a smaller one, and I was thinking of using it, but I don't want to get the heat like out of control on this. We're at 280. I think at 325 I'll actually start testing it. And different parts of the pan are cooler than others, but yeah, we're hitting close to 300 now. Oh, I see. Now our oil's really starting to move. Okay, I get it. I can stand corrected. Okay, we're getting into 290. So, we have it. Let's be precise. 320, okay. This seems like we are ready to roll. So we are going to take our first piece of chicken and slowly and carefully drop it into our oil. Now remember, you cool off the pan as soon as you put something in there. So you're going to have to pay attention to the temperature quite a bit as you're frying to make sure everything stays hot enough to fry. We also don't want to crowd our pan. That's 2 pieces of chicken. Like maybe I'll put in a third, but I don't want to move this stuff. I don't want anything sticking. So I'm reluctant to mess with a good thing. I probably just should have put them down in better locations. Whoop. There goes just a piece of batter. Okay, that's a third piece of chicken. I'm now not putting anything more in there for a minute. Okay, now since this has our raw chicken on it, we're also going to be using, which I did not take out, and is of course located like right under my camera setup. We're also going to be grabbing a giant fork, so to be able to pluck things out of our fryer and onto the paper towels when they're done cooking, and we don't cross-contaminate with this yucky pair of tongs. Okay, that's still cooking. You know, it's actually nice that I got this little piece of batter dropped in here, because it's a nice way to check how things are cooking up without having to disturb our chicken. So I'm using thinly sliced chicken, and so each side doesn't actually take terribly long to cook. And you want to avoid turning and turning and turning the chicken. Ideally, you only want to turn it once. So you really gotta like trust yourself and be willing to like over or under cook the first piece, usually under. And again, everything's kind of like getting up to temperature. Like, let's see what the temperature is now in the pan. 305, right, like it's still not as hot as it was before the chicken went in. So we're just kind of letting everything do its thing. Let's check on our one piece of batter. Our piece of batter is still not, here, I'll show you, still not totally golden, so we're gonna leave everything still. Just don't touch anything. You gotta be patient with your food. So I'm using thin sliced chicken cutlets, which means that each side is gonna take roughly 4 minutes to cook, and then we will have pieces of chicken that are cooked through and safe to eat. Yeah. And there's hot spots in your pan, so yeah, this one I'm gonna turn. It's still looking golden brown. I'll show you what's going on in my pan. So this one we've turned because it was getting a little golden brown, and I thought maybe we were in a hot spot here. I think that was still okay, even though this side is a little lighter. This is the first piece we had put in the pan. So let's run a check. It's starting to fall apart a little bit. That's a good looking piece of chicken though. This was the batter that accidentally dropped in. Let's turn that over and see what color it is. Yeah, see, that's getting nice and golden. Okay, so this was the last piece that went in. And again, we are being very, very careful. This is extremely hot oil. This can do real damage if we get sloppy with it. Oh, and it already smells great in here. You can really smell all the seasonings that we use. It's totally worth it to season your food well, I'm telling you. And the better the pan and the hotter the pan, the less you'll find things sticking. If you find that your food is sticking, it's because you don't have the heat up high enough. When you fry, you're really talking about very high heat. It's not like sautéing. And again, we're just going to do this in groups so that we don't crowd our pan. And there's lots of things that you can do when you're using such thin sliced chicken cutlets like I am. You're kind of able to use this on everything. So we can cut it up and throw it on a salad. We can throw some sauce over it and serve it with some spaghetti, which would be really yummy. Although this is more like southern flavors. This isn't like Italian chicken cutlets. This is way more kind of soul food flavors than that. I happened to have made some like really kick-ass homemade mac and cheese yesterday. I mean, probably we'll both need like enormous naps after eating a meal of this and that, but okay, now we're starting to get some real golden happening. So we're going to take our little piece of batter out because I don't want that to burn. Okay, let's see how this was the first piece that we flipped. So that looks like a perfectly cooked piece of fried chicken. Put it on our paper. Now remember, it is going to continue cooking. as it drains. So even if it seems like it might be a little undercooked, although you can kind of see where this is flaking away, our chicken is cooked. But it does continue cooking because it's so hot. So don't worry if it looks just a little under. Let's get our next batch into the pot, or the pan rather. And you know what? I said that I was not going to use my my tongs in order to take those off the heat, and I fucked up because I totally did use my used nasty tongs to take those off the heat. So hopefully the oil was hot enough that it's going to kill any germs. If I accidentally give my whole family some kind of salmonella poisoning, like, I'm sorry, I guess. I'm not a professional cook. If you want a professional taking care of your food, go out to eat. Oh wait, you can't. That's not an option. I guess we're dealing with each other. Okay, so now we have 2 new pieces right into the pan. And we're just going to repeat this method until all of them are hanging out, draining on our paper towel. So I'll show you what it all looks like when it's completed. So here we have our unbelievable crispy fried chicken. It is hot. It is so crispy. You can really taste the cayenne pepper that's in it, just a little bit of back heat. Without being spicy, just adding something interesting to it. The paprika is amazing. The celery salt gives it this really interesting, like, brightness of flavor. It is so good. It is so decadent. Enjoy your fried chicken, everybody. You only live once. And if this is how we get through quarantine, so be it. See you next time.